What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? It is the 6th day of July. Here we are, 8 hours and 40 minutes left in the day. Bitcoin's up a little bit today. Nothing too crazy, but it is up a little bit. If you're looking at the 4-hour time frame, we've moved up. We've got a little bit of a wick, and depending on the next 39 minutes or so, if we come down, this could stand to still go below these lows. I am still considering that, I guess, but it's at this point in time I'd be more considering that we find support at prior resistance, check back, and then we continue to rally. That's what I'm thinking. This seems a little bit more significant than just a fake out, but you never know. 39 minutes, man. I'll tell you what. If we come all the way back down and close red, then it's very possible that it was a fake out. But with what we're doing here on the 1 hour consolidating like this, I'm not completely convinced. So with that in mind, XCN is probably not long for the downside, right? We might have even found our low. If Bitcoin has found its low and it's moving up, you're hard pressed to find cryptos that continue to decay. If we're looking at this from a relative low here on a daily time frame, June 22nd, to the high here on June 25th, we are in the golden ratio zone. We've rejected the 0.5 and we haven't gone lower. We're still in this area, so depending on how today closes, we close back up above this golden ratio. Even if it's not today, if just any day closes back above that golden ratio, I would say we found our low wherever it is. So just keep that in mind. Definitely interesting to see and optimistic for sure. We are in an area that would make sense to find support. So there's no need for the price to go down. In fact, if you're looking to add more OnyxCoin, there's nothing wrong with this price right here at just below 1.4 cents. We could, keep in mind, we could still go down to 1.3 cents or 1.32 to 1.28 cents, somewhere in that area. But I would expect that this week might be rocking and rolling a little bit earlier than we anticipated. I am curious to see though how this plays out, this 4-hour time frame specifically, because if we get a bigger wick than a body on this candle, we get some volume to back that up. I mean, it could be a fake out, and if it is a fake out, we would go lower than this. But it's, again, I just think it's a little bit more robust than a fake. It's a good fake out if it's a fake out. That's for damn sure. XCN here, we're looking to form a higher low. Okay, lower lows here, lower highs galore. We want to find a higher low, and then we need to get a higher high. Okay, higher low and a higher high. We've got lower lows here, and we formed a higher low, but we did not get the higher high. This high was definitely higher than this high, but that's not what I mean. We already have a higher high in that sense. That's not what I mean. We need a discernible higher high, right? This was our last discernible higher high, so that was still a lower high. This is still a lower high, right? Lower high. And that was a discernible high. Absolutely, it was right there. So we need to get above this high, okay? Low, high, higher high. That's what we need to form. Once we get above 1.7 cents, things should really start to take shape to the upside. I think we're going to see some fantastic growth in a very short amount of time. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom back out to this, okay? So looking at this here at about 1.38 cents, the 1 hour RSI looks bullish. Actually, it does look bullishly charged. We could go a little bit lower, find support. Oh, not like, maybe not that low, but down to the 40, find support there, right? Higher lows. That could take us a little bit lower than where this low is here. And again, if we were to go down to like 1.34, 1.32 cents, even down to like 1.2 cents, 1.25 cents, it's fine. Those are areas that we would expect to find support. So I wouldn't be worried about that if that happened. We did get a lot of buying pressure here, not a whole lot of selling pressure going on. We'll see how it goes. But let's look at this real quick from a 1 hour up and down. 382 rejection. If you find support here at the 236, if we start moving back up and you see prices that are above 1.4 cents, we likely would be moving up. That would validate this as a low. Just understand, if we can get, before we go lower, before we go below this low, if you get back above 1.4 cents, that validates this as a low. If not, well, you might be going just a little bit lower, and it's nothing to be concerned with. 1 hour RSI does look bullish, but again, if we were to go a little bit lower here, that would probably take us a little bit lower than this, maybe give you a fake out to the downside. And with that, understand too, the RSI, it's based on closing prices. So like here, that might not be a good example. Like here, this one, the RSI looks like it's in tandem in this little trend here, but if you close all the way down here, this RSI would have tanked to the oversold zone. You know what I mean? Like right here at the base of this candle, it was oversold at some point. So we very well could, just because the RSI, we're perceiving it to bounce here, we still could see prices that are a lot lower than just like barely below these lows. I would think if we go to the 40, we'd barely get below these lows, but that would just be where we close. We could wick all the way down, and OnyxCoin likes to wick whenever it finds its lows. It really does like to wick for the most part. So just anticipate that, right? just because we break this higher low trend momentarily, if the 1 hour time frame is not closed, I wouldn't get too overzealous with that bearish notion there. MACD, you know, I will say the MACD is giving me some bullish optimism here because you've rejected the 0 line, but you're coming back up. I've noticed, and I don't know if this is true, don't treat this as a fact. I've just noticed it, and I don't know. Let me see if I can find an example. No, it's not a good. Those aren't good examples. Let's see. I don't know. I can't find any examples. That's okay. But what I've noticed, and I want to test this more to see if it's true, but I've noticed that if the MACD, the blue line, finds resistance at the 0, but the red line hasn't quite gotten there yet, the orange line, it's not as reliable of a rejection. The orange line getting up to the 0 rejecting, and the blue line can even be above, and it likely will be above, or even if they're both above, those are more serious rejection opportunities there. So the fact that you've rejected it here but you're coming back up, it would make sense that you do come up. This actually does look bullish in my opinion, right? That kind of quote unquote rejection, having a weak reaction like this, tells me that, hey, maybe, you know, rejection should have gone lower, but you didn't. You just found support at the same areas. Maybe you do go higher. Yeah. 4 hour time frame here. Actually, let's look at the stochastics real quick. Stochastics are crossed down. 33 minutes left. Let's see how you close. 4 hour time frame. Stochastics are oversold. That is bearish to a certain degree. 4 hour RSI looks posture to the upside. You've got higher lows here, or lower lows in the price, higher lows in the RSI. That is bullish divergence. Stochastics don't have higher lows, but that's okay. These do have higher lows on the MACD, so bullish divergence on both on the RSI and the MACD. Looking like we would want to move up higher. And again, if we move a little bit lower, it's not a big deal. We'll probably find our low here soon enough, if not already. Whenever we do, I don't know if I want to draw an extension from this level because we don't know where our low is yet. So let's just draw an extension from this level, or a retracement, because we do know that that's the low, or at least presume to know that that's the low. Technically, this low is not validated until we get above 1.7 cents. Hold on. Until we get above 1.7 cents, that low's technically not validated, but we're making the call early, as we like to. You know, if that's wrong, I would be very surprised, actually, but I don't think that that's going to be wrong. But if it's wrong, we'd probably find support around like 1.1 cents to 1.2 cents, somewhere in that area. We're at 1.38 cents now, so very nominal amounts, nothing too crazy. But when we do move higher, when we get above 1.7 cents, we'll make an immediate move, immediately, to 2 to 2.1 cents, somewhere up in this area, if not higher. Probably dance around, find some turbulence, whatever, and then continue to rip and run as we're going through the later parts of July. We should see over the coming weeks prices that are not just above 4 cents but above 5 cents and continue to rally from there. Ultimately, I'm anticipating that we'll see prices all the way up at 26 to 32 cents sometime in August. We were thinking it'd be by the end of this month. You know, last month that's what we were thinking, but it's not going to happen. So probably sometime in August. Looking at the daily RSI is still very, very bullish. The stochastics are momentarily bearish, I have to say, but actually, man, it's like bearish with a bullish twist. You actually do have a little range here, higher lows, higher highs. You don't really treat the stochastics like the RSI for the most part, though. They kind of range between the oversold and overbought, so you would expect it to get oversold again. But we are in an area where you might find support. I mean, you've found resistance here before, so maybe you do actually find support right here. There's good things and bad things about the stochastics. Bad because it's pointed down and you'd likely go to the oversold zone. Good because you're kind of in an area where you'd find support, and you have been a little bit squirrely. So bullish stochastics, neutral RSI, I would say, and the MACD is looking to do one of these kind of like false rejections here at the 0, and then we probably continue to come up. So maybe we get a little red pip like that, like just like a little red pip, and then we continue to rip. My expectations would be if we don't start moving up between the next 48 hours, then sometime later this week we would start moving up. So I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.